Hi YouTube, and hello to the urbanagriculturehub.ca. It's Angela here from the Mason Street City Farm, and today we're going to talk about and make some potting soil without peat moss. Typically when people think about making your own potting soil, peat moss is the first thing to come to mind, but unfortunately peat moss is a really unsustainable resource to be using. When we cut down our peat bogs, we're cutting down a really vital part of our wetland ecosystems and a really vital support to our forest ecosystems. Also, when we cut down peat bogs, we're releasing a greenhouse gas, carbon. When we leave peat bogs alone, they are a carbon sink, so they hold on to tons and tons and tons of carbon. So what we're going to talk about is a sustainable alternative to peat moss, which is coir. Coir is coconut husk fibers that comes from coconut farms. It's not the silver bullet or the end-all solution to the sustainable alternative, but it has a significantly less carbon footprint. If some of you are interested in the ultimate ethical choice, which isn't using peat moss or coir in your potting mix, I have a couple of recipes at the end of the video that I'll walk you through. But today we're going to make this mix, and I'll just walk you through the materials and then we'll make a mix together. So first we have 2 parts finished compost, and our finished compost is going to provide a really great nutrient supply to our mix and to our seedlings. Then we have 2 parts sifted leaf mulch, and this really helps to increase the organic matter within your finished compost, and it also helps to diversify the size of particulate matter within your mix as well. Then we have our coir, which acts as well as peat moss, so it's really good for water retention and for aeration and drainage as well. Then we have perlite. So this is volcanic glass that has been heated up and expanded, and these act as tiny air pockets throughout your entire mix. And then we also have, at the end here, we have some sand. So this helps to, again, diversify the particle size within your mix and helps to contribute to a good soil texture. And then lastly, we have glacial rock dust. So this is a broad spectrum of trace elements, or trace minerals, that have been harvested from glacial moraines in Canada. And they help to inoculate your soil system once you have transplanted with a nice mix of trace minerals. So we'll start with our mix here, 2 parts finished compost and 2 parts leaf mulch. 1 part coir, 1 part perlite. It can get pretty dusty if you're making really big amounts of potting soil, so you might want to put a mask on when you're dealing with perlite. Then we have our sand and a little handful or 1/4 part of glacial rock dust. Hey Jasmine, do you want to help me mix? Great. There we go. So what you're looking for in your potting mix is a great nutrient supply, great water retention, great drainage, and good aeration. And once your mix is fully mixed up, the amount of moisture you want in a mix, you want to be able to make a little ball and it won't crumble apart in your hand. So if it does crumble apart, all you have to do is add a little bit of water until you get that right texture. So what I'll do is I'll just walk you through the recipes printed out, and you can pause it if you want and write down the recipe. And I'll show you a couple of more recipes without peat or coir. So for our no peat recipe, 2 parts finished compost, 2 parts leaf mulch, 1 part coir, 1 part perlite, 1/2 part sand, and 1/4 part glacial rock dust. And then if we want to go on to no peat and no coir, we can do 2 parts compost, 2 parts leaf mold, 1 part perlite, 1/2 part sand, and 1/4 part glacial rock dust. And the difference between leaf mulch and leaf mold is that leaf mold is basically leaf mulch that has been composting for a couple of seasons. So what you can be left with is something that has a really great humus quality and can be a replacement for peat or coir. And then I've worked on farms that have just done 2 parts compost, 1 part perlite, 1/2 part sand, 1/2 part glacial rock dust, or you could just use plain old compost. So I'm really interested to know what some of your potting mixes might be, so feel free to comment on this video on YouTube or visit the urbanagriculturehub.ca. This is a new initiative where I'll be putting up videos, educational videos about urban farming throughout the season. So like the video, share it, and I'll be seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye now.